This video is just for the funnies. The Omen is probably really good or something. Unless you actually try and use the Omen, in which case you'll immediately realize this is going to shit and agree with me completely. The Omen is fucking garbage. You see, when Triangle Factory were developing breaches, they accidentally forgot to give the Omen any fucking damage potential. A funny prank, you're thinking. Now yes, granted, this is pretty funny. However, there is a small problem with the Omen. There's a 1 in 6 chance that any bot Joram, bot Alfred, or simply Big Nubcake that has just started playing the game will purchase said Omen and attempt to use it as an actual gun. The problem with using the Squirtmaster 7000 as an actual weapon is that it doesn't fire bullets, and all the other guns in the game fire bullets except for that one. That fires like crayons. So because so many bots come packaged with Water Gun Prime as their favorite toy this evening, you're in an interesting situation anytime you take over one because you'll be left with 0 fucking guns. So unless you can pick one up from the ground, you're going to die to the same veteran sniper who shot you before, through a wall, or maybe a floor if they're feeling creative. So despite my warnings, you've decided to buy an Omen, and now are wondering how to use said Omen. Well, I'll tell you. Step 1. Take the Omen. Step 2. Put the Omen in the bin. To highlight why, I will now show you a compilation of all the kills I've achieved with the Omen in my 249,000 hours playing Brew Cheese on my World of Warcraft account. Yeah, but that's okay, maybe that's just my experience using the gun as a professional lag main. Why don't we ask this esteemed gentleman what he thinks of the gun?
Using that shite.
What's wrong with the Omen?
It's very shit.
Okay, why don't we try this guy? He looks pretty trustworthy.
You could take a wheelchair and it'd be better than the Omen.
Why would I use a wheelchair as a weapon?
Because you could throw it at them.
It would do more damage per hit. Okay, fine, this gun sucks literal pine cones.
I love doing no fucking damage.
But I thought you lived in the ocean. Silence. Sponge. Now, statistically, the Omen fires 25 Ps per pod and has 3 pods per beanstalk. Adding that up using my enormous brain, I've discovered that equals 75. That is level 4000 maths. 4000 comes after 7, right? So with the Omen having a maximum capacity of 75 bullets, and each of those bullets doing 1 damage a hit, you come to realize that this gun can kill exactly 0 men, which begs the question of why the fuck it's a gun and not just a land ornament. I think I meant a hood ornament. You can put it on the land if you want to. It can, however, defeat Doritos, which is great. You know, at least the fucking slingshot can defeat something, even if it is a goddamn piece of corn. This is bullshit. It's an electric corn, it makes beepy noises. Now this gun costs 1,100 monies, which is pretty cheap compared to the Death Cannon, I agree. However, this is also twice the price of the Spoctis. Now the Spoctis is a real gun that fires real bullets, so what you should do instead of buying an Omen, you should buy 2 Spocteasers, which is a plural Spoctis. Use one of the Spoctosers to shoot the enemies, and use the other Spoctosers for shooting any of your allies that decide to go within 100,000 kilometers of the nearest fucking Omen. Set the human on fire. So, the most important question. Does the Omen hold a candle to the literal Death Cannon? No. Saw bombers do less DPS than the Vezin does. I tested that on the moon. So if you see like another crater in the moon, that was me. Sorry about that. Jeff was trying to eat it. I had to head him off. Jeff ate the first. It's a long story. There was 2 moons. Jeff ate one of them, and now there's 1 moon, and he went to eat that one, so we had to bomb him. So we used a bomb that we got somehow from the ocean. So comparing the Omen to the Vezin is unfair. Yes, I agree. So instead, let's compare the Omen to the weakest gun in the game by a huge margin. Oh no. So look, let us pretend hypothetically that you're in a saw trap, and the only way that Jigsaw will let you out of the saw trap is if you get an ace with the Omen against the enemy team. So after you spend the first 5 hours crying and trying to dig out of the cage with a plastic spoon, because that will probably have a higher success chance than the Omen thing, you finally admit defeat and realize you need to start getting kills with this gun. So how do you do it? That's the fucking thing. You don't. I mean, you could try the infamous laugh to death tactic. What you do is you purchase an Omen, go into TeamSpeak, and then admit to the entire server that you have now made the Omen your favorite weapon. As soon as you announce this, you will notice the entire enemy team and probably your ally team falling over, dying of laughter. So what we want to do is keep repeating it until they die. They will eventually laugh so hard at the fact this gun is so unbelievably dogshit that their lungs will turn off. You could also try painting the Taurus as an Omen in an effort to fool Jesus, but the Taurus is even worse because that gun hasn't worked since the game came out. I think I fired 7 bullets per 6 bullet magazine just then. At least the headshots on the Omen register. They don't do anything, but they still fucking register. 4 shots. Build a game that isn't dog shit. That's my just one request. Don't make the game shit. I made the game not shit on accident by using Flash. However, if you are absolutely hellbent on getting an actual kill with this literal pancake launcher, I may have one solution for you. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you The dice roll shotgun. That's right, the Omen can theoretically defeat the Canutt in open combat, due to one fatal flaw in the Canutt. It does no damage, depending on what time of the day it is. You see, when they were building the Canutt, some absolute meth addict put a 99-sided dice in the damn thing. Basically, whenever you fire the Canutt, there's a 98% chance that it will do no damage, but there's a 1% chance that it might do more than 5.
Your video's good.
Fix your shit, man. So all you have to do is hug the man with the Canutt and hope that he keeps rolling his dice wrong and doing 0 damage even though it's point blank. How does that happen? How does that happen? No, take a look at this.
I shoot him directly in the skull and he doesn't die.
Use physics to explain how the bullets went through skull and went out the other side of skull without damaging the skull, because that's not what a skull is. Skull is made of squish things. Well, a skull isn't made of squish things. The thing inside the skull is made of squish things, and those things don't like bullets very much. So when you put a Canutt in them, they mush, which... Are you following me? So if you actually manage to outgun that Canutt, you've gained yourself 1 kill. But as for acing the rest of the team and getting the hell out of that soul cage you've been placed in, it is my personal honor to announce to you that you are going to die in that fucking cage. Unless you wanted to go off the board with these recommendations. You see, there is one more tactic I have not mentioned to you. One tactic that is banned by the masses of epic games like Fortnite. Use those previously mentioned plastic spoons to borrow your way out of the cage, but instead of escaping and going to the police, log on to Jigsaw's computer, hack into his breaches files, and replace all of his guns in the game with omens. Upon realizing that he can only use the Omen for the rest of his life in breaches, Jigsaw will have a meltdown, and this will give you just long enough time to shoot him with an Omen. The problem is the Omen doesn't do any damage, so what you do is you steal his gun and give him an Omen, and then he can't kill anyone ever again, because when he tries to sedate the people with the needle, it'll be an Omen, and then it won't do it, it will just annoy them, so they'll just punch him, because he's like a puppet, or like he's an old dude, right? So they just punch him, and he dies. That's the plan. I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna leave. And that is the only way to use an Omen. I'm not gonna get over it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I might not respond because I might not have the answers. Trust me, just stick to the script. It'll be fine. Just Jigsaw steals you, give him Omen, he dies. Have fun playing breaches. I'm gonna use a real gun. Mr. Omen, I send you to the ocean because you are penis. Also, I got a new rug.